Hey guys, Carter and Jackson here with you again for the 5-Star News. And Jackson, we have a lot to talk about today.
Sure do. HHS students making news out not only here on campus but throughout the community.
Yep, we'll tell you who they are and we'll find out if our baseball team stayed alive in the GHSA state playoffs. Those stories and more next.
Here we go for Friday, Carter, and we'll start with What's Up Heritage.
Nothing like some good old school announcements to get the show rolling. Take it away, Rory, Ava, and Emily.
Thank you for that lovely introduction, guys. I'm Emily, and this is Ava, and we have a few big announcements to tell y'all.
So let's get into it.
ELC and AP testing is coming up. Make sure you are studying for the test you have to take so you will do good. ELC testing will be May 7th to the 17th, and AP will be May 6th to the 17th. Good luck.
The Special Olympics will be at the track and field at Ringgold High School today. Make sure to go support our fellow generals.
All academic letters are due May 3rd. If you are eligible, make sure to fill out the application so you have a chance of being chosen for an academic letter.
Now let's go over to Rory for the 4-day weather forecast.
Thanks, Ava. Yes, let's jump right into the 4-day weather forecast. This weekend will be pretty rainy. Starting off with Friday, it's going to be cloudy with a high of 80 and a low of 64. Saturday, there will be thunderstorms with a high of 78 and a low of 63. Sunday, there will also be thunderstorms with a high of 83 and a low of 64. And Monday, it will be cloudy with a high of 82 and a low of 66. Have a great weekend. Now let's go on to Jackson and Carter for more news.
Thanks, ladies. Great info.
Into the news now, and what an awesome and inspiring story coming out of our local Fellowship of Christian Athletes organization this week.
Yep, the Lookout Mountain branch of FCA announced their Athlete of the Year for 2023 and 2024, and the winner resides right here at HHS.
Sure does, and Jackson, you and Court Babin had the opportunity to chat with cross-country coach Mike Kraft in the Athlete of the Year earlier this week.
Yes, we did. Let's find out who she is now.
Hi, my name is Karen McCormick, and I was nominated and won the award for the FCA Christian Athlete of the Year. So the interview process kind of went, I got nominated by my school, and then I had to fill out an application and send in, some things like a testimony, things like that. And then on Monday night, everybody in the Lookout Mountain region, the people who got selected, who were nominated, we all went to a dinner, and there we also had to share testimony and do some things like that. And then they selected their winner, and that just happened to be me. And I'm very thankful for this opportunity, and it's great to be able to show God's love throughout school.
All right, well, I was excited to hear that Karen McCormick, she got chosen as the FCA Athlete of the Year. I think that's fantastic. I know there's a scholarship that goes with it, and she's well deserving. I've coached her in cross country, and she gave great leadership. She has great personality, is friendly, and she shows the ideals of being a Christian, Fellowship of Christian Athletes on a daily basis. So, I was very excited to hear that she was chosen for that, because that's around this whole district from multiple counties. So she's done really well. It's been a pleasure to coach her, and she's been helpful with the team, between leadership and encouraging other people on the team, and so I think it's well deserved.
Congrats, Cameron. Certainly a tremendous honor.
Moving on to some important info about a huge week coming up for our teachers next week here at Heritage.
Yep, next week is Teacher Appreciation Week at HHS, and various clubs have some really big things planned for our staff.
What exactly will be happening, Carter?
Well, I don't know everything yet, but I do know they'll probably be eating a lot.
You know it. Let's find out the rest in this 5-Star News report by news reporters Steven Solomon and Jace Perez.
All right, yeah, Teacher Appreciation Week's always something that we obviously look forward to. The school does a great job of showcasing our teachers and doing things for them. It's usually always a lot of food, ice cream, snack type stuff. And one of the things I really like that some of the groups do here is they do a Thank a Teacher card, and it's always cool to get those from your students. Just them showing in writing how much they appreciate you, and I usually get a few, and it's always cool to get them. And a lot of times I'll put them up in my office and tape them up, and I'll look back at them, a year or two later, and just remember these students, because we're blessed as teachers to have students like you guys. And we're also blessed to have a school that recognizes that.
I really appreciate Green, so I'm gonna write a letter. I wrote a letter for him, so I think it's a good. He's a great teacher. He's got energy. He's enthusiastic. He's funny. So yeah.
So for teacher appreciation, I made a letter for Mr. Green. He's one of my favorite teachers, just one of my favorite classes, but I just wrote a letter for him just to show that I love his class. I like him. He's a good teacher.
So it's always a fun week, and it's really based on groups and clubs doing things for the teachers, and then the teachers getting to see some of that as students write to them and tell them things that they appreciate about their class, and it's just a cool thing, and I'm glad they do it here.
Sure looks like a great week.
But time for a break now, Carter.
Yes, commercial time, but hang around for sports.
Owen and Andrew will have the recap of the Big Sweet 16 baseball playoff game.
And in entertainment, you wouldn't want to miss part 2 of Kieran Freed's Game Rate segment on the video game Outer Wilds. Stick and stay, sports and entertainment next.
I better go check the lost and found.
Hello, Generals, and welcome back to this Friday Sports edition of the 5-Star News. I'm Owen Karstens.
And I'm Core Babin. And Owen, 3 things on the docket for everyone today. And we'll start with that Big Sweet 16 state playoff series that started on Wednesday.
Yes, our Generals at home taking on Seconder in the best-of-3 series.
Yep, and the winner would advance to the Elite Eight of the GHSA playoffs. Could our Generals keep the magical run going? Here's myself and Owen and Braden Ford with the playoff recap.
Oh, it feels great. Last night was probably the best we've played this year. Seconder has an outstanding program, and we played well all night long.
So we matched up with Seconder in the second round of the state tournament. They're a good baseball team. Went out there. Their pitcher was committed to West Georgia first game. We hit the ball very well off of them. We had about 9 hits. Beat them 4-0. Great game by the team. And so the second game went out there. We knew we had to win it because we didn't want to play next day. So, we got off to a rough start. Not that we didn't throw a lot of strikes. They put a 3 spot in the first inning. We were like, all right. And then we came back. We won the game 8-4. Great game. We hit the ball well again.
It's a big step. I mean, you're 8 teams left in the state playing, and you're one of them.
So next we have Stars Mills at their place, and that'll be a fun one. We're gonna win, and shock the world.
Congrats on the series sweep, guys, and good luck next week down at Stars Mill in the Elite Eight.
Thanks, Owen. We are very excited.
I bet. Moving on now to a huge deal for our athletes here at Heritage this past Wednesday.
Yep, it was Sports Physicals Day, and HHS teamed up with the Center for Sports Medicine in Fort Oglethorpe to perform over 100 physicals.
Definitely a great and easy way for our athletes to take care of that before the next sports season.
To find out how it all turned out, here's sports reporters Parker Scott and David Butler with more.
Wednesday, the school did what I think is a pretty cool thing as an assistant coach here and previously being a head coach is they took about 100 kids over from Heritage to the Center for Sports Medicine in Fort Oglethorpe to get their physicals done. And
vision, height, weight, blood pressure.
And I also have a kid that's an athlete, so I think that's just a win-win situation for everybody involved with that. I think it's a win-win for the students and the athletes because they get to do this while they're at school. It's a little cheaper, and they can run them through pretty quick.
I mean, yeah, it was cheaper than the normal physical, and you got to skip school, so it's a win-win.
And then it's easy for coaches to know that, hey, they did that this year, and it's good for all next year's sports. So that's kind of a little check mark we can make that we don't have to worry about our athletes. And I think it's probably a good deal for parents, too. I'm a parent. It's a good deal for me that I don't have to take Cade to the doctor's office to get him a physical. So I just think it's an awesome thing, and they've been doing it here for a few years. I think it's a little bit easier. It's smoother, and it just helps every phase of that, every aspect of that physical phase. So I'm glad we're doing it. From what I gathered, everything went well, and it seemed like all the kids got taken care of pretty quick, and they got back to the school within about an hour and a half. So a timely thing, and our athletes are taken care of for next sports year.
Looks like a lot of generals took advantage. To softball now, and 2 more general softballers inked their name on the dotted line to play the sport at the next level.
Teammates Kelsey Anderson and Abby Young made their commitments at a ceremony down in the Media Center Wednesday afternoon.
Young will be attending Walter State, and Kelsey will hit the field for the Tigers of Chattanooga State next year.
Our very own Coach Green and Deacon Lewis talked to the ladies to get their reactions on their big day.
So part of our state championship teams, our softball team, it's no surprise to anyone, is the most successful program in athletic department over our first 16 years. They are a powerhouse, and these 2 young ladies have been part of that, an incredible part of that. They're both good students. They're both incredible young ladies. They're hard workers.
You both are headed to very well-respected programs. Both are very competitive. Both are competing for that conference title every year. And you may now sign your scholarships. Abby, this is for real.
So actually I didn't decide to play college softball till this year. I actually was going to go do something else, but then after we won state, I was like, I have to keep playing because I'm not done, you know? And I got this opportunity, and I'm really excited about it, and can't wait to see what the future holds.
This is a very exciting moment because I've dreamed of this ever since I was a little girl. For this dream to come true is just like makes me feel good because it shows my coaches and my parents how hard I actually work to get this achievement, and I'm excited.
I really like that when I visited there, it felt like home, and the coaches are very nice, and I like the way they run the program.
The program is a really good program. Chat State, I feel like it was a good choice for me. The coaches, it's a really good environment. Like the girls, they really compete. They push each other to get better every single day at practice, in season, off season, no matter what. And I feel like I could really bring some leadership and everything in there.
Well, it actually wasn't planned at all. I just can't do this by myself. So, but I really appreciate her signing with me, and I think it's cute how we're rivals and we signed together. So yeah.
Thanks for sports, you guys, and we have one entertainment segment for you today, and it's a sequel.
Sure is. Kieran Free told us a little about the game called Outer Wilds.
Well, let's see his final verdict now in part 2 of his report on game rate.
Hello, welcome back to Game Rate. I'm your host Kieran, and this is part 2 of Game Rate for Outer Wilds. If you haven't seen the first part, please go check out Tuesday's news. Thank you. Now, where were we? Yeah, okay. Now let's get on to the gameplay. Throughout Outer Wilds, you take your kind of hard-to-control ship through an adventure all around your solar system. Each planet has their own things to discover, and their own danger too. Like the Hourglass Twins have sand flowing between them that can and will crush you. Brittle Hollow has a black hole in its center, Giant Steep has tornadoes, electricity, gravity, and a whole lot of water. Timber Hearth has geysers that can shoot you and your ship into space, and Dark Bramble, should just be left alone. And you have to go through all of these planets to find as much as you can about the Nomai before the 22-minute time loop is up. And you gotta take your ship back to where you were because you didn't get all the info, and while that is annoying, it isn't much of a setback because the only thing that might stop you from getting somewhere is that you might not have the right idea on what to do. Outer Wilds progresses through knowledge, meaning that if you know what to do already, you can just beat the game in 7 minutes. With that being said, going into Outer Wilds with mostly no prior knowledge of the game is the best experience you can get out of it. A small spoiler could ruin someone else's experience, so I'm trying my best not to reveal too much. Gameplay gets a magnificent 10 out of 10. Outer Wilds is a game you can only play once. I would do anything to get my mind wiped and play this for the first time again. Now, let's move on to the graphics. The sights we see in Outer Wilds are truly beautiful, with each planet having its own charm and feeling. Every new thing you see is not only intriguing, it has a purpose. Every sound and sight gives off its own emotion. Don't even get me started on the ending. I have never seen a work of art that makes me feel more emotion than what I felt during my playthrough of Outer Wilds. There's no other way to say this. Outer Wilds is a masterpiece. 10 out of 10. There's no need for math. It was obvious from the beginning. Outer Wilds is the best game I could ever recommend to anyone. The final rating of Outer Wilds, 10 out of 10. If I were told to present the peak of gaming to save my family, I would choose Outer Wilds. I cannot think of any game that could surpass this masterpiece of human creation. Outer Wilds is perfection incarnate. With that, we'll end this edition of Game Rate. Come back next time where we're rating Detroit Become Human. Thank you for your time.
Sounds like Keon was really impressed with Outer Wilds. We might want to play that.
Well, he does have a pretty good taste in gameplay. I might just do it.
And with that, we'll wrap up this Friday edition of the 5-Star News.
We'll see you again next Tuesday with a brand new report, but until then,
have a great weekend, and as always, stay classy heritage.